Hello, guys. Welcome to our podcast about the generation gap. So, we're gonna take a brief information about each generation. Okay. So, start from the baby boomer. This generation is born since 1946 to 1964, like in the during after the World War II, in the time of economic growth, and they value hard work, loyalty to their job and careers, and they focus on the building family, owning property, and they are very strict to their traditional. And for the next one, for the generation X, so this generation born in 1965 to the 1980s. This generation is independent and resourceful. So they witnessed the era of the personal computers, and they value their work-life balance more than boomers, and they are often skeptical of their authority as well. And for the next generation, so this generation is a generation Y. This generation born in 1981 to 1996. So this generation grew up with the internet, mobile phone, and social media. They are highly tech understanding and seek a meaningful job, and they value the personal growth above everything. And the next generation is Generation C. So this generation born in 1997 to 2012, and this generation is a two digital native smartphone. YouTube and TikTok influence them from a very young age, and they seek for the diversity, and they also have a social aware as well, like the climate change and equalities. And that's all for the each generation information. So now we can head to the podcast.
Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast. Today we have 7 people here: Wun, Mukfa, Beam, Chala, Neya, Mesai, and Pat. Our topic is generation gap. What is it? Why does it happen? And how can we understand each other better? Let's talk about it.
Yes, sometimes young people and older people don't think the same, but it's not matter mean one size is wrong.
A generation gap is the difference between age groups. For example, baby boomer, Gen X, Gen Y, and Gen Z. Each group has different values, different habits.
Parents often say, when I was young, I already worked hard, but today, world is not the same. Things have been changed.
Yes, and also with technology, we like to use phones and social media, but sometimes parenting is strange and useless.
For them, maybe study and work are more important. For us, we also care, but we do it in a different way.
So, a generation gap is not only about age but also about lifestyle, ideas, and experience.
Let's share some funny moments. Have you ever had a generation gap problem?
Yes, my boss once asked me to send a fax. I didn't even know how. I asked, can I send an email instead? And everyone laughed.
For me, my mom wanted me to call my aunt on the phone, but I just sent message online. She said that's not real communication. Well, I'm an introvert, so I don't really talk to anyone. I don't really understand what people say, so I just send them line message. Why does my mom want me to call her? If I call her, I won't be able to communicate because my aunt doesn't really know how to use social media.
My dad always asks why I take a photo of food before eating. For me, it's fun, but for him, it's like waste of time.
And one more thing is, my grandma cannot understand about the online shopping, so she just say like, why don't I just go to the actual market?
Same here, but sometimes it's cute. We see how different life was in that time.
Of course, sometimes the generation gap causes conflict. Parents tell us to study more, work harder, or stop using phones. One clear example of the generation gap in my life is between me and my mom. She often tells me to study harder and stop using my phone. For her, education is the most important key to success, while the phone is just a distraction. For me, however, the phone is not only for fun, but also a tool for learning and communication. I use it to search for information, watch education videos, and connect with friends. This is something that my mom doesn't fully understand, because her generation grew up without depending on digital technology. Even though we see things differently, I know my mom's advice comes from love and care. The generation gap reminds us that parents and children may think differently, but with understanding and balance, the gap can become smaller and our relationship stronger.
But they say this because they want us to be safe and successful. They care, even if he said feel strict.
Yes, and we also need to explain on our side. For example, online learning is not wasting of time, but it's actually a new way to be learned. Okay, so there's one time I told my parents about online learning, and they don't get it. Like, why you go to learn with a virtual teacher? You cannot ask them instantly. Why you need to learn like that? And then I explained to them it is a new way to learn, because I don't have to go anywhere and I can learn everywhere. Even if I'm on a train, on a BTS to back to my place, I can learn from everywhere, and I think that is a new way to be learned.
I think the best solution is respect. We can listen to them and they can listen to us. No shooting, just talking.
If we understand the past and they understand the present, then the future will be better for everyone.
That's right. It's like teamwork, different skills, but one goal, to live happily together.
So, what can we learn from the generation gap?
For me, it's like food, different flavors, like sweet, sour, salty, spicy. Together make it a good meal. I think it teaches patience. We must listen even if we don't agree.
It also shows us history, how life was before, how life is now. We can compare and learn.
And it also gives us creativities, like mixing an old idea with new ideas can create something new and fresh.
I believe the gap is not a wall, it's a bridge. We can walk across and meet in the middle.
Yes, if we share love and respect, then the generation gap will become a generation connection.
Today we talk about the generation gap is normal, it's everywhere, but it doesn't have to be a problem. It can change to understand and grow together. Thank you for listening to our podcast. See you next time. Bye bye!